Hello, my crafty friends. It's Marie from Marie's Vermont Creations, and today I'm going to share a project with you using the Arteza Real Brush markers. I had originally shot this video, but I was not paying attention to where my camera was, and I cut off the most of it, so I am doing this project for a second time. I did find the first time I did it that putting the marker direct to the paper and then moving around didn't work well for me. So for today, I am scribbling it on my glass media mat and then putting the paper down with the water brush that came with this set. I have stamped down the large floral image from the Simon Says Stamp Beautiful Flowers stamp set, and I did that with Simon Says Stamp clear embossing ink, and then covered it with gold embossing powder and heat set that until it was smooth and melted. And then I am just coloring in all of the images on here, and I will let you know the colors that I have used. The majority of my leaves are in olive green, and then some of the smaller ones I used green tea to color them in. And then for my flowers, the top flower is in wine red, the middle flower is orange rust, and then the bottom flower is eggplant purple, and then the smaller buds, which I'm currently filling in, are in bubble bath pink. So those are the colors that I chose for this project. I do like these markers. I am using also Canson watercolor paper for this. It is on the textured side, so I did stamp the image twice with my embossing ink before I covered it with the embossing powder, because it does have the texture. You could always flip it over and use the smooth side. And I'm trying to move around and do images that are not next to each other, so that it gives them a chance to dry, because if you're doing that while they're wet, they may blend together, and I didn't want to end up with any brown colors on my project. So I'm just wiping off the media mat and moving on to the next color by just scribbling down the marker and using the brush that came. There's a brush pen that comes in the set. I owned water brush pens, but I figured I would see how this one does, and I do like the bristle tip on it. I think it was easy to, paint with, so I didn't have any issues with this set. I will be using them more, giving them a try to see. I know I've seen people doing like ink smushing with them, so I will definitely give that a go. But once I get all of the main image colored, I have seen Amy R. and Kelly Latavola both do this. They take a blue color, and it might even be Christina Warner, I'm not sure. But they take a blue ink and outline the image around the outside of it to kind of gives it a pop. It gives it some color around it. So that's what I'm going to do with this ice blue color. Nope, not ice blue. That is Arctic blue that I'm using. And put that down, and then I'm going to outline the entire image with this blue color. I really enjoyed this. I think this version versus my first one, I did the blue. It's the same blue color, but I think it came out a little bit more intense. So I think I used less water today than I had in my previous version. So you can mix it up, change how it looks. If you go over it again with a little more water, you could get a lighter blue color. You could go with a different blue. And also with the brush pen, not the brush pen, the water pen, excuse me, if you squeeze the barrel, you will get much more water. So throughout this project, I didn't need to squeeze the barrel. Enough water came out so that I could move, the ink around without any issues and having, it'd be a lot of water. So I didn't saturate the watercolor paper too much, so I thought that was really good. If you wanted extra water, definitely squeeze the barrel, but I wouldn't do it over your project because it does tend to come out kind of fast, so I would do that off to the side. So I'm just finishing up putting the blue all around my image and making sure that I'm trying to get it as even of a color around, because I noticed in some spots I did a little darker than others, but it doesn't really bother me. Like I said, I didn't do any focus on any highlights or anything like that with this project. So then the sentiment that I'm using is also from the Simon Says Stamp Beautiful Flowers stamp set, and I still have it loaded on from the first time I did this, so it's in the exact same spot. So I'm just going to ink that up with Simon Says Stamp Intense Black ink over to the side and give that a good press, and then I'll show you both projects side by side to show you today's version, and then this is my original one. I hope you like today's project, and I hope you have a great day.